So this evening session, I thought we would cover some postures and some breathing around anxiety and stress. Now, during perimenopause, menopause, I mean, during life, really, we are stressed, but particularly through perimenopause, one of the biggest symptoms can be anxiety. And also, with our symptoms, no matter what they might be, so hot flashes, aches, anything, of the myriad of symptoms that we can get can be exacerbated by stress as well. So there are recent studies coming out at how stress, particularly in menopause, can increase our pain, so our aches and our joint issues. And your body is already working a little harder than it normally is to try and keep, you stable and to keep sort of hormones leveling out, and then to put stress on a system that was already a little bit stressed, obviously can make things a little bit worse. So all of the postures and things this evening are to activate our parasympathetic nervous system. So this is our fight or flight response. So when we get stressed or when we feel a hit of that anxiety, all of our sympathetic nervous system fires up and we get ready to either sort of run away or fight, and we also call it the freeze. So you might freeze and just not want to do anything. And it means things like your adrenaline and your cortisol are increasing in the body. That puts pressure on your adrenals, which are already working a bit harder because your adrenals can produce and do produce estrogen. So particularly if you are really bottoming out in estrogen, your adrenals are already working particularly hard, and then if we fire them up with trying to put cortisol through and increase sort of that stress, then we're going to feel a lot more exhausted and a lot sort of achier, and our symptoms are going to feel much worse. So we're going to start with a little bit of breath work. So I'll stay where I am for the moment, but you can sit down on the mat, you can sit on a cushion, or feel free to lie down if it's easier, particularly if you've been sat up at a desk all day. Just lying on the floor can be a nice way to stretch out the back. So choosing whatever comfortable position you want to be in, either on the floor or sitting. And we're going to lower or close the eyes. Now, if you do suffer from high anxiety and closing the eyes is just really dead uncomfortable, just have a soft gaze into the distance, not particularly looking at anything. And we're going to start to feel the breath coming in through the nose, and we're going to let it out through the mouth. We're just going to keep that lovely breath going, sighing out through the mouth, and that can be as soft or as forceful as you like. And we're not really forcing the breath in and out, we're just giving ourselves a bit of time and a bit of space. And as you start to zone into the breath, notice where you feel it in your body. So when I ask you to notice the breath, where is your awareness drawn? Is it to the nose, into the throat, the chest, or maybe even the belly and the diaphragm? Just notice where your awareness is drawn and then rest it there. Just noticing the sensation of the breath in and out of the body. And as you exhale, can you release the jaw a little? Can you soften the forehead? As we exhale, can we allow the shoulders to be a little heavier? Wonderful. And then when you're ready, from wherever you are, either sat down or lay down, I'm going to take the hands to the ribs, so just to the side of the body. And we're going to start to feel the breath in the ribs. And we can carry on allowing it to go out through the mouth, or you might prefer to breathe in and out through the nose. Just notice any movement in the ribs. Can we feel them flaring out, or are they quite still? There's no judgment, we're not worrying, we're just noticing. And then as we breathe with our hands down, can we encourage a deeper breath? Deeper breath in and a longer breath out. Wonderful. Lovely. And then just slide those hands away. We'll keep that lovely big breath going. Resting the hands down in the lap. Wonderful. Fabulous. We're going to take one big breath in through the nose. Feel the belly, the chest, feel the back, the ribs, and hold it there just for a moment. And then let it all go. And then allow the breath to settle to a nice natural rhythm. Notice how that feels. Does it feel slower? Does it feel deeper than when we started? Wonderful. When you're ready, gently blinking open the eyes if they are closed. If you've come to lying down, just come very gently up to a seated position in your own time. You can be cross-legged, you can be kneeling, you can have legs out in front, and I will move onto my mat as well. There's always the option to have cushions about, so I always love cushions on my yoga mat. So you can sit down on a cushion at any point. So I'm going to find a nice long tall body, resting the hands very gently down onto the knees. And let's start with some rolls of the shoulders, and I really want you to slow this movement down. So you're going to roll the shoulders up to the ears as high as you can go, and then take them back and down. Really rolling into it, and see if you can link it with the breath. So you inhale, you take the shoulders right up to the ears, and then as you exhale, you roll them back and down. Lovely. As you take the shoulders back and down, can you squeeze them together? It's a real purposeful, slow movement. Fabulous. Few more, noticing any crickles and crackles. Wonderful, lovely. Settling the shoulders back and down when you're ready. If we've got the legs crossed, let's just uncross and then recross them in the opposite direction. Rooting down the sitting bones. We're going to start to circle into the body. So very gently going to start to draw a circle with the torso. The sitting bones are staying right where they are. And we might make it big or it might be small. Now, if we want to, if it feels good, we might start to undulate the spine. So we're rounding as we're going back. And we're lifting the heart forward and up as we go forward. Noticing what that feels like. And I always suggest closing your eyes through the practice, particularly with what we're doing this evening. Getting right into the body. See if we can take that round in the opposite direction. Rolling it around. Lovely. Taking just a few more. Perfect. Bringing it back to center when you're ready. Lovely. Settle the shoulders down. Check in with the breath. Then we're going to take the chin down to the chest. We're just going to roll the chin from side to side. Like a nice heavy pendulum. Keeping the back lovely and long. There's a gentle engagement with the belly to keep us lifted. Rolling around in a semicircle. Noticing how that feels on the neck. Lovely. Just a few more here. Fab. Bringing it back to center when you're ready. Lifting the chin. Lovely. We're going to take the arms up above the head. And we're either going to interlace the fingers and push the palms up to the sky, or you can simply hold the hands if you prefer. See how that feels on the wrists. So we're sending the palms up to the sky, but let's relax the shoulders. Lovely. We're going to keep the arms where they are and just turn the head to one side, as far over as we can go. We're going to take 3 breaths here, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Really release the jaw. Lovely. Let's turn the head all the way over to the other side and take that through again, in through the nose. Lovely. One more. And then back to center. Lovely. This time we're going to very gently look up towards the hands and take those 3 breaths. Lovely. Bring the chin back to parallel with the earth. Release the arms. Bring it down and roll into the wrists. Move the arms and flick it off. Shake any tension off. Really just releasing the arms and the shoulders. Perfect. So we're really moving and stretching into the neck and the shoulders there, and it also activates the vagus nerve as well, which is great for dealing with some anxieties and some stresses. So when you're ready in your own time, we're going to move to our tabletop position. So knees are going to be underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. And we've got a little bit of action in the belly, gently pulling in. Pelvic floor is active if that feels comfy. And then we're going to unlock the elbows. There's a real temptation here to lock into the joints. Let's put a little micro bend there. We're going to go through our cat-cow tilts, but for those that haven't done these before in menopause yoga, we'll really try and get the action to start in the pelvis. So what we do is we're going to take an inhale and start to push the bottom up, and it gently leads the belly down, and then we look up. As we exhale, we focus on tucking the sitting bones under, and it creates a wave up the back and the head comes down. So we're inhaling, starting from the pelvis and letting the belly drop and the head lifts. As you exhale, we round down and push the spine to the sky, and then keep it going with your breath. So the inhale's lifting you, the exhale's rounding you. And really focus with the movement coming from the pelvis, from those lower chakras. Keep it moving. Now, the only time we really wouldn't benefit from a cat-cow tilt is if we were suffering from osteoporosis. But hopefully doing more of these before that happens can help us stay with strong bones, strong joints. Just rolling through just a few more. Fabulous. And then settling the spine back to a neutral position. Do feel free to come off the wrists, give the hands a little shimmy, a little shake, even a little roll. Get that lovely blood, the energy, the prana moving. And we're going to come back to our tabletop position. Take the knees out lovely and wide and see if the toes can come together. Then we're taking the sitting bones down towards the heels, stretching the arms out and lowering the body to a child's pose. Now this is where a cushion could always come in handy. Could always pop a cushion underneath the head. Really nice, particularly before bedtime, just to take a few breaths here. If we've not got any cushions, we can come down to the floor, or even maybe just take the hands under the head. Nice long breaths. See if we can consciously relax the hips. Perfect. When we're ready, hands are going to come back in front. We're going to lift back up, bringing the knees back in. Lovely. When you're ready, we're going to come up to a downward facing dog. So only if this feels right for you, we're going to tuck the toes under, push the bottom up to the sky, lengthen into the arms. And we're going to have a little bend in the knees to start with, sending the sitting bones high, and then start to pull the heels towards the ground. They might not get there, they might do. See how it feels. Let the head go heavy, maybe even taking a couple of nods here. Just releasing any tension from the neck. Fabulous. We're going to start to walk the hands backwards, so put plenty of bend in the knees, and we're going to come into a forward fold. So let the body hang. So the knees can be super bent, or we can have them lengthen up. Let the head pull down towards the earth, and perhaps bringing the hands to the elbows in a ragdoll position. We're going to gently rock from side to side, lengthening out the spine
And just taking a moment to check in with the breath. Are we keeping it soft and steady? In and out through the nose, keeping that nervous system nice and comfortable. We're going to come back to the center, let the hands come down to the earth. So again, bend the knees as much as you need to. We're going to start to walk the hands forward, drop the knees down, come back to our tabletop position. Perfect. Take the hands over to the left side of the mat. We're going to step the right foot forward, coming into a lunge position. Back toes can stay tucked under or they can flatten out. It's entirely up to you. And so we've got these hands on the inside of the right foot. We can have them on the floor, or again, you could always bring them onto a cushion. Particularly in the evening, it's nice to keep everything soft. And then we're very gently going to rock the hips back and forward. So we've done this in the previous weeks. It's a really nice way of just loosening into the hips. Lovely. And then we're going to settle forward into that lunge position. On an inhale, we're going to roll the body up and then bring the hands together at the heart. So here we've got two choices. We can push into the feet and the front of the leg, or we can very gently focus on letting the hips come down a bit further. So the more we push in, the more strength we will feel. The more we release, the more opening we're going to feel in the hips. So it really is your choice on what you would like the body to feel this evening. We're staying lovely and tall, engage the belly, the pelvic floor is gently lifted. We're going to keep the arms low this evening, so we sometimes sweep them up. We're going to keep the hands together. Nice, long breaths. Fabulous. When we're ready, we're going to take a nice long inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to turn in towards the thigh. So the legs are staying where they are. We're coming into a nice gentle twist. We can keep the body lifted, or we might take the elbow to the thigh and push the hands together. Entirely up to you. Taking some nice long breaths. If it feels like it's getting a little too much, take some long exhales. Lovely. 2 more breaths wherever you are. And then let's inhale, bring it back to center. And then exhale, we're going to frame that foot with the hands. Slide it back nice and gently. Plant the hands down. And we're going to take a circle with the hips. Round nice and gently. Take it around the other direction and notice what we're feeling, what sensations are coming up. Lovely. Let's settle back in to the center. So we're going to take it up to another downward facing dog. So tucking the toes under, we're going to push the sitting bones up. Let the head be heavy. Have that little nod if it felt good. Perfect. Let's start to walk the hands back towards the feet. Come back into your forward fold. Then let the spine be long. Coming into the ragdoll with the hands to the elbows if you want to. Nice steady breaths. Little rock from side to side if that feels good. And we're going to let the arms come down, hands to the earth, so bend the knees, and then walk it forward, lower the knees back down into your tabletop position. Hands come over to the right this time, left foot steps forward. So again, we have hands to the floor, or we can bring in a cushion, and then we're going to have that lovely rock forwards and backwards, nice and slowly. Fabulous, lovely. Settling forward into the lunge. So again, you can flatten out that back toe if you like. We're going to inhale, roll it up, lifted body, hands together at the heart. Choose if you would like to melt the hips forward and down a little bit more, but keeping the knee right over the ankle. Check in with the breath. Check in with the shoulders as they creeped back up. Can we lower them down? Perfect, lovely. Take a nice deep breath in. As we exhale, we're going to twist into the thigh, so we're twisting to the left. And we're either staying there or we're bringing the elbow down to the thigh. Very gently holding it there for 3 or 4 breaths. Lovely, let's inhale, bring it all the way back up. And exhale, frame the foot with the hands, slide it back. Come back into our tabletop. And again, take the circles with the hips, as big or as little as you like. Perfect, take it round in the opposite direction. Lovely. And back to center. Lovely. So from here, we're going to make our way down to the ground. So I'm just going to slide the knees behind the hips a little bit and then lower the body nice and slowly all the way down. Hands are going to pop underneath the shoulders. Going to give the hips a lovely shake from side to side. And then on an inhale, we're going to lift the head and the chest, slide the hands forward so the elbows come under the shoulders. So we're in our little Sphinx posture. Let the belly be very gently pushed down to the ground. And take some lovely long breaths here, in through the nose and out through the mouth. This is also a great posture for releasing heat and hot emotions. We're opening the heart. Fabulous. If that feels good, our next option would be to slowly take the body down, slide the hands back under the shoulders. And we're going to inhale, come up into a cobra. So we're very gently pushing the hands into the earth, coming up to a deeper back bend. Few breaths there. Lovely. Release it down when you're ready. We're going to push into the hands and lift the body up onto the knees and take it back to a child's pose. So we're going to try and take this through a little flow. So this is great for focusing the mind. Don't worry if we just go a little off piece to start with. So from this child's pose, we're going to inhale, start to send the body forward. As you exhale, we're going to lower the body down to the ground. Inhale, lift up into your little cobra. Exhale, take it down to the ground. Lovely. Inhale, we're pushing up back onto the knees. As you exhale, we're taking it back to child's pose. Lovely. So let's take it forward on the inhale. Down on the exhale. Up to cobra on the inhale. Down on the exhale. Inhale, lifting it up. Exhale back to child's pose. Do take a breather if you want to. or take it in your own pace. So really very gently lowering and lifting with the breath. The inhale is usually the action and the exhale is the release. Flow with your breath. Take your time. Fabulous, wonderful. Let's take it through one more time if that suits, or do feel free to just rest in child's pose. Take it back to child's pose when you're ready and just rest it there for a moment. Take a few breaths. Really relax into the hips. Fabulous. When we're ready, we're going to softly lift ourselves back up to our tabletop. We're going to take one more downward facing dog. So tucking the toes under, pushing up and over with the sitting bones. Take a moment there, gently pulling the heels towards the ground. See if you can send the shoulders away from the ears. Perfect. And then we're gently going to lower the knees down. Come to either a kneeling position, if that feels okay, or you can sit on your sitting bones, or again, you can bring in a cushion, whatever feels right for you. Take a moment just to take a few breaths. Maybe closing the eyes. And just feel the practice in the body. Anything that's brought up, any sensations. Fabulous, lovely. From wherever we're sitting, we're going to let the arms just very gently fall down. On an inhale, we're going to face the palms up and let the arms come up as high as you want. As you exhale, you're going to bring the fingertips down, touching very gently, and they're going to go all the way across the front of the body, down to the lap. And then we're going to inhale, scoop it all the way back up again. Taking the arms up, bringing the fingertips together. Exhale, pushing down nice and gently until we reach down to the thighs or the belly. Inhale, sweep it up nice and softly. Exhale, fingertips together, bring it down. Wonderful. Let's take it one more time. Lovely big breath. Fingertips together. Take it down. Lovely. We're going to bring the hands down. We're going to rest one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest. And very gently tucking the chin down. I need to feel the inhale as it expands the belly and lifts the chest. And as you feel the exhale, notice how it softens everything.
And just taking some long breaths, slowing everything down. Perfect. Let the hands release down. If you're still on the knees, let's come over and then we'll take the legs out long. Give the ankles a little bit of a roll. Lovely. And the legs are out long, but there's a nice big bend in them. We're going to inhale, lift the arms up, reaching the fingertips, and then as you exhale, you're going to fold forward, bring the arms down, and take the hands underneath the legs. So it might be the hands come under, you might find the forearms come. You're basically giving the legs a little hug, and then let the head go heavy. So coming into this really sort of gentle hugging position. And this can also be really nice for any tummy aches. So just relaxing, let the head go heavy. Perfect. Inhale, let's unwind the arms, bring the body up. And then we're going to lower down to the ground. So nice and softly, with as little effort as possible, supporting with your hands. You're going to lower the body down. Come to a nice flat spine. Slide the shoulder blades gently together. And then we're going to bring the knees up to the belly. You can either take the hands to the thighs or the shins. And again, you're going to give yourself a hug in. Very gently rock from side to side. Fabulous. Lovely. When we're ready, dropping the feet back down to the floor. And seeing if you want to play with maybe taking the feet out, perhaps as wide as the mat. And then let the knees fall in towards each other. You can give some nice sensation around the hips and the lower back. Hands are coming to rest on the belly. We're going to come into a little shavasana, a little relaxation. So if you want to grab blankets, pop them back on, jumpers, socks, just take a moment to get nice and comfortable. Releasing the shoulders, relaxing the jaw, and closing or lowering the eyes. So you find your shavasana position as I come to sitting. So relaxing down onto the ground. Do feel free to pop a cushion under the head, or even something under the knees, so blankets under the knees or cushions under the knees can just ease any lower back tension. And then from wherever you are, whatever position you have found, just come back to the breath, just where we started, but let go of all control now. And I'd like you to take your awareness to the tip of the nose and just feeling the slightly cooler air coming in and the warmer air going out. Not worrying about the depth of the breath or the speed of the breath. Just being focused entirely on that sensation on the tip of the nose. And notice if the mind is busy. Are there thoughts popping in to distract you from your focus? And that's perfectly okay. It's completely normal. But if you find your mind is traveling away, bring it back to the tip of the nose, feeling the air coming in and floating out. You might even say to yourself, I am breathing in. I am breathing out. And then allow that focus to open up. Starting to feel the face, the air on the skin. Feel where the back of the head connects with the earth. Be aware of the neck and the shoulders. The right arm and the left arm. Can you bring awareness to the fingers and how they're sitting? What are they connected with? Feel the back on the ground and the belly as it gently moves up and down with the breath. Notice the glutes and the thighs, and both legs, where they connect and where the feet touch the floor. Feel the clothes on the skin. And scan the body freely in your own time and find anything that needs to be softened. Meet tension with compassion. Notice if you're gripping anywhere, the jaw, the forehead, the hands. And let everything soften. And coming back to the breath. As you breathe in, thinking to yourself, I am breathing in what I need. And I'm breathing out what no longer serves me. I am breathing in what I need. I am breathing out what no longer serves me. Stay with that mantra for just a few moments. And then let the words just fall away. And allowing yourself to simply rest. Notice any sounds around you. And allow each sound that you notice to simply be a reminder that you can relax deeper. Each sound is a reminder that you have nowhere else to be, nothing else to do. This is right where you're supposed to be. Taking your time to be still. And slowly beginning to deepen the breath again. Allowing the breath to come in through the nose and out through the mouth. Wonderful. And beginning to put a little bit of movement in the body, wiggling the fingers and the toes. Rolling the wrists and the ankles. Maybe bending the elbows. Moving the legs, the arms. And slowly just making your way and rolling over to one side for a moment. And then softly beginning to push yourself up to a seated position whenever you are ready. And as you return to sitting nice and slowly in your own time, taking the hands together at the heart and nodding the head for a few moments. And just taking a moment to acknowledge your beautiful bodies for everything they're able to do this evening. And thank yourself for taking time for you. That is the trickiest bit. And then take that last moment to feel the calm and the softness that you have right now. And knowing that this is accessible to you at any point, you can just bring yourself back here. Namaste.